At the time that I'm recording this, there are literally less than 24 hours until Netflix drops the second batch of episodes for Stone Ocean. And there's a lot I'm really looking forward to. You know, a lot of really cool action. One of my favorite characters is being introduced and really pushed in this part of the story. There's just a lot I really do want to see. Genuinely, I'm really excited. I really, really am. However, there's this feeling of emptiness that I've had throughout basically the entire day when it comes to thinking about this new batch of episodes. And it's literally solely, is because it's just another batch of episodes. Nothing changed. We, as a community, have tried to push for Netflix to consider doing the weekly thing again. You know, really trying to give this show the time of day it needed to continue growing the fan base over and over and over again. However, Netflix just didn't listen. And obviously it's like, duh. Netflix is not people. Netflix is some media conglomerate that controls everything. Meanwhile, we are people. And we, as a community, are trying to get people into the show. That's awesome. However, this batch release thing doesn't really allow that to happen. Not even within a month, the hype for Stone Ocean was essentially brought to an all-time low because people just stopped being enthusiastic about it because everyone just watched all 12 of the episodes at once because they needed that high of binging every episode and having all the people associating, wow, Netflix has this new show for just a single day. And then having a complete drought of content for JoJo outside of a new game coming out, which comes out literally the same day as this part, or the Crazy Diamonds Demonic Heartbreak spinoff, which is really good and I'm really enjoying it, but that's not even a main series thing like the Stone Ocean anime or Part 9, which we literally know nothing about. So it's just a bit frustrating to be incredibly excited for something, yet at the same time realizing the second that it's over, it's going to be over for such a long time that many people will just consider Stone Ocean to be dead again. And you think that I would be really looking forward to this because the show is literally back. We're finally getting that sort of kick in the rear, something that revitalizes the series. And it's just this little bit, and you're like, this is the best thing ever. Man, I love this story. And seeing it come together like this is so amazing. And then they just pull the plug immediately. And they're like, well, we'll see you in 9 months for your next checkup. Obviously, Netflix has been the bane of the JoJo community's existence ever since this entire batch schedule has happened. The entire part has basically been put into a sort of on and off switch state, not a fluid, it keeps going state, which every single other JoJo part has had and has had a very successful time in that regard. But Netflix is just like, no, let's not do that. You've heard this all before. But the thing that really drives me crazy is that they still try to say they care about the show when there's literally been no promotion for the show returning at all. Like, none of Netflix's Twitter accounts except the French one have even made a single tweet promoting the show. And it's just ridiculous because you spent so much money to try and get the show on your platform and then you don't even try to push it because you don't want to push animation anymore. It's just a bit ridiculous when I think about it because the show not only is being dumped out in these batches so people will forget about it instantaneously, but it makes your platform look worse in the long run and makes people not want to visit it as frequently as you would have people visiting. I don't know. To me, it's incredibly confusing what Netflix has been doing throughout JoJo Part 6, but none of these problems will necessarily matter because people will be able to watch all this stuff either week by week if they choose or just in whatever pace they feel is comfortable. And for this section in specific, I'm not going to talk about the spoilers that are contained in it because if you're, going to watch this and you haven't actually read Stone Ocean, I don't want to spoil you. That would be rude, you know? But a lot of the stuff is very action focused and would especially be good for a weekly release, in my opinion, to sort of amp up the tension as the fights go on. But again, Netflix, you're just gonna ruin your opportunity to make more money, media conglomerate. So you do you, I guess. I feel like a lot of people clicked on this video and were probably wondering, what on earth is this thumbnail? Why did you make this? It's very cursed. I don't like it. But the main reason I made it was because the only thing I could think about when thinking about the drought coming again was the SpongeBob meme where it's like, oh, it's so close. I can almost taste it. I just know Netflix is going to come through with even more crap that has nothing to do with the actual quality of Stone Ocean storytelling and all the things in the world to do with logistical, monetary stuff that literally has nothing to do with making more money for JoJo at all. JoJo is just a product they're selling to us, the viewer. And obviously, they don't seem to care about selling this product in a cohesive way that gets people to visit their platform more and more, because if that were the case, they would just do it in a weekly cycle, which would encourage people to continue coming to Netflix over and over and over again. However, Netflix doesn't care about animation at all, so that's not going to happen, which is just frustrating. I remember back when I was in college, Stone Ocean was going to be the first part of JoJo that I was able to see in person with friends, and genuinely, that would have been a really great experience for me, I think. Obviously, I knew the part already, but being able to see these people's experiences, their growing attachments to these characters week by week, and my own interpretation of the story changing, either because of the anime making some characters just feel more lively, or other people I know finding the characters more compelling, making me in return find the characters more compelling. It would have been cool, especially because this story is obviously really important when it comes to the entire grand scheme narrative of JoJo. So having that sort of finality with this section of the story and seeing that with other people would be really cool. But because of this batch release thing, that did not happen. Honestly, this part probably will end in June of 2023 if we're going by the 9 months thing. And it's just crazy to think about that literally over a year after I graduated college, Stone Ocean will finally be pushed out as done, instead of a long weekly journey that we could have had. I could just tell I've been rambling for quite a while about the negative sides of this, when I am excited. I am. I'm going to watch this with some friends. It's going to be a fun day. But outside of that, I know that in a month, maybe even less than a month, people aren't going to be hyped about JoJo like I am. We will get out of this drought eventually. There's always a sort of light at the end of the JoJo hiatus tunnel, and we'll get there. Araki's working on part 9. The spin-off is really good. I'd actually highly recommend you give it a read if you like part 4, and if you've been missing some JoJo content. If you want to see me talk about my thoughts on the second batch, I'm going to do a video on that as well. And with that, if you got all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.